A guilty defendant is to be sentenced to death. So sentence me.
It's not every day that someone asks to be executed right in open court.
First time I've heard it. Adam Schiff expressed annoyance over how long this court process is taking, now 10 months after he was arrested for killing New River pastor Bill Schaineman.
In the interest of justice, what about the victims' families? What about me? What about my family? We want closure so we can move on with our lives.
He says he killed Bill in his home and crucified him on his own bedroom wall. He said he placed a crown of thorns on the top of the pastor's head.
You know, what I did was for naught because nobody could hear a word I'm saying. I don't have any mental health issues. I disagree entirely. There was a time in my life where I had drug addiction issues, but I conquered that.
Yo, I'm JustinFREAKIN. Right-wingers keep trying to mock me for my sub and view count on YouTube, so I guess I'll be a good content creator and do what the algorithm gods demand and tell you to like the video. Or dislike it for all I care. I know I'm not a very likable personality. But if you do enjoy the vibes around here, be a good subby and seduce that subscribe button. And if you want to find out what that news be doing Sunday through Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific on the Troll Patrol Live, then be sure to hit that bell the way I would hit the bong. What the fuck kind of shit going on in Arizona? A man was charged with a pastor's crucifixion. A man was charged with a pastor's crucifixion. I know. I can't.
At least one aggravating factor and no mitigating factors. A guilty defendant is to be sentenced to death. So sentence me.
This was just a horrible crime. And today in Maricopa County Court, a man accused of crucifying a New River pastor, very well liked up there, asked that he be put to death. Adam Schiff has admitted.
Well, did he want to be crucified? I don't.
12 News journalist Sean Rice is here now with more on how this hearing went. And Sean, it's not every day that someone asks to be executed right in open court.
First time I've heard it. And there's a first for everything. And unfortunately, this is a first for killing pastors for religious reasons. As Troy said, just an awful crime. Adam Schiff expressed annoyance over how long this court process is taking, now 10 months after he was arrested for killing New River pastor Bill Schaineman. Today, Schiff claimed he has no mental health problems and is very aware of the consequences of his actions. He admits that he committed this crime and this murder, and he wants to be put to death for it. Pastor Bill was found dead inside his home last April. He led the New River Bible Church for decades. Adam Schiff admits to traveling from California here to Arizona with plans to kill religious leaders all across our state. In a jailhouse interview with 12 News and other media outlets, he says he killed Bill in his home and crucified him on his own bedroom wall. He said he placed a crown of thorns on the top of the pastor's head. Just awful. He admitted, or he was indicted rather, on a first-degree murder charge, and the county attorney's office last fall filed.
What do you think his tattoo means?
Now, today, Schiff tried to plead no contest, allowing sentencing to happen without a formal admission of guilt. The prosecution objected. Then Schiff offered to plead.
Oh, hey, I probably should have hit the content warning before this one.
Guilty. He outlined in detail all of the reasons why he wants this court process to be over. He provided no defense for his actions.
The dude's like, go ahead and put me to death.
And we're dragging this out in the interest of justice. What about the victims' families? What about me? What about my family? We want closure so we can move on with our lives. You know, what I did was for naught because nobody could hear a word I'm saying. I don't have any mental health issues. I disagree entirely. There was a time in my life where I had drug addiction issues, but I conquered that.
And this morning, the judge here did not accept his guilty plea. Instead, she set a court date the end of next month where
He sounded perfectly competent. How are you gonna not accept his guilty plea? What in the absolute fuck? I mean, I realize it's a capital case and everything. The judge is probably like, in his best interest, he needs to be advised by counsel, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, he did it. He admits he did it, and he's like, give me the death penalty.
She can be certain that his plea is voluntary. The prosecution would have to prove to either a judge or a jury that there are aggravating factors, at least one present in this case, in order for Sheaf to be put to death for this crime. Today, Sheaf admitted in court that there are at least two factors that are clear and obvious in terms of can he be put to death. The victim in this case is over 70 years old, and the murder is considered heinous or depraved. We'll see how quickly the judge wants to move in accepting his guilty plea when he's back in court this next April. Tram.
All right, Sean, thank you. So let's take a legal deep dive into this case. Criminal defense attorney Josh Colesworth joins me now. Why wouldn't the judge accept his guilty plea? I mean, clearly you just heard there, he seemed pretty convincing.
Well, today, after watching the hearing, he did seem like he was cogent and he understood what was going on and he understood the penalties. But he also started the hearing by saying that he wanted to plead no contest,
right,
which is something that you can really only do if you don't remember what happened because of either a mental issue or you were on drugs or alcohol or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but then from no contest to I'm guilty. Take it for what it is. But the judge said no.
Yeah, not yet. Now, she did set a hearing in April where he certainly can plead guilty to first-degree murder.
Mm-hmm.
But what he can't plead guilty to is the death penalty portion of the case. So the death penalty portion is basically another trial or evidentiary hearing and must be decided either by a jury or by a judge. Mm-hmm. And so in that situation, a judge or a jury will have to determine whether or not the aggravating circumstances in the case outweigh the mitigating circumstances. And if they do, they should and would issue the death penalty.
He said that clearly he has no mental health issues, that, he's of clear mind, right? But yet...
Seems pretty of clear mind to me.
Explain why he's trying to prove his case, but it's not just being allowed.
Well, he's also made statements that some would say don't sound necessarily very normal. For example, he said that he wants the death penalty because you can't really kill the Son of God, stuff like that. And when you hear stuff like that from a judge, your attention always goes to competency. Does this person understand what is going on? And also there's another issue where oftentimes people do confess to crimes that didn't exist. And that can happen when somebody has some mental issues. Also, if there are unethical questions and techniques a detective is using, right, such as in the Temple murder case, someone can give a false confession.
Right, and they just surrender because they're just tired of being beat down.
Exactly.
But isn't the legal process in and of itself already so laborious and so lengthy and so drawn out?
Laborious.
Both for
Great
the
word.
defendant and for the victim's family. And what I always tell my clients is that the process...
Wait, is he claiming to be the Son of God? And that's why he crucified the pastor? I'll fight him for it.
Is part of the punishment. And it is in this case. It's telling the defendant that he no longer has control, that his fate is going to be in the hands of a jury or a judge, and he doesn't like that. He wants to be the one in control here, and that's why he was having some issues in court today.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll wait to see what the judge decides in the next court date. All right, Josh, thank you.
Oh, we're keeping up with this one.
Like one it and kick one back, one more click, before we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live, social fucking support and hit subscribe, light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but he takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up, tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
I'm not high enough for this shit.